Hello and welcome to This is Public Broadcasting. I'm your host, Captain Rutledge. Out there, on the outer rims of what we call the Internet, there is a community of dedicated researchers whose sole task is to uncover pieces of media thought lost to time and progress. Ladies and gentlemen, the lost media community.
A whole number of these people have worked tirelessly to bring obscure pieces of lost media to the forefront of public knowledge. To this date, they have uncovered such pieces as Richard Williams' original cut of The Thief and the Cobbler, Fritz Lang's Metropolis, a whole slew of Doctor Who episodes originally thought wiped by the BBC archives, and the Rhapsody Street Kids Believe in Santa.
Look at me, look and you'll see.
What the hell is that?
And naturally, there are a decent number of PBS children's shows with lost media attached to them, either through limited home media release or being locked away in station archives. So, I figured it's time to take a look at some of these shows and their associated lost media. Of course, we will mostly be looking at the shows proper, not any associated media like promotional bumpers. Check out Peeves' channel for more of those from several stations across the country. Now, how to go about a lost media video.
This is one of those odd cases of lost media, where the media itself isn't lost.
We are about to enter one of the most deadly, dangerous portions of internet culture, that being lost media. So many dark, disturbing elements of media, thought lost but now found. And we are deeply disturbed at what we have found.
You know, I really can't take that too seriously. Maybe I should do what I know best. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at some of this lost media.
Sesame Street first premiered on PBS stations in 1969, the brainchild of Children's Television Workshop founders Joan Gance Cooney and the late Lloyd Morrisett. Both of them employed several talented writers, animators, actors, and Jim Henson's Muppets to create the longest-running children's series on American television. Nonetheless, the show gained attention in the lost media community for two specific episodes that faded into obscurity. Episode 847 premiered in 1976. It was notable for including an appearance by actress Margaret Hamilton as the Wicked Witch of the West, who visits Sesame Street after losing her broom in heavy wind. In an effort to retrieve it, she terrorizes the locals of Sesame Street until finally using good manners to take it back. The Children's Television Workshop received a number of complaints from parents of traumatized children after the episode aired, and further insight caused Children's Television Workshop to pull the episode from future airing. In 2019, the episode was included, along with 4,500 other Sesame Street episodes, that were archived in the American Archive of Public Broadcasting, and clips of the episode were shown at the Museum of the Moving Image in New York City. Then, in summer 2022, the episode in its entirety was leaked online, and can currently be found making its way around the net. Snuffy's Parents Get a Divorce was intended to air as episode 2985 in 1992, featuring Snuffy and his little sister Alice dealing with their mother and father being separated. Test audiences were confused by the episode and reportedly worried about their own parents getting a divorce. In the end, the Children's Television Workshop pulled the completed episode, and it would never air in its entirety ever again. Like with episode 847, clips of the episode were shown at the Museum of the Moving Image, and in 2021, segments of the episode were featured in the ABC documentary Sesame Street: 50 Years of Sunny Days. Although we were never able to see the episode in its entirety, it was nonetheless satisfying to see what could have been. Sesame Street later retackled the subject of divorce with the 2012 video Little Children, Big Challenges, where Abby Cadabby discusses her parents' divorce.
I still love my mommy and my daddy. And they still love me.
And you know what, Abby? That's something that will never change.
I know.
Fred Rogers got his start in television at NBC in New York, then WQED in Pittsburgh. While studying at the Pittsburgh Theological Seminary, he worked with Josie Carey on the Children's Corner, then went on to attend the University of Pittsburgh's Graduate School of Child Development. Eventually, he started his own children's program at WQED with Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, which ran on NET and PBS from 1969 until 2001, when Rogers retired and eventually passed away of stomach cancer in 2003. In 1977, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood aired its first and only holiday special, with Christmas Time with Mr. Rogers. The episode featured Mr. Rogers talking with a girl named Stephanie, whose parents were held up by car trouble on the way to the local holiday get-together. Together, Mr. Rogers and Stephanie make up stories to pass the time, involving the Music Man helping out local friends, and the neighborhood of make-believe. After its first broadcast, the special reportedly aired each year until 1982, but faded into obscurity afterwards. The Neighborhood Archive had a copy of the special in their library, but were unable to release it publicly due to copyright concerns. In December 2022, the special in its entirety was released on the official Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood website.
Boomerang, toomerang, soomerang. Boomerang, toomerang, soomerang.
In 1983, the 5-episode arc Mr. Rogers Talks About Conflict premiered on PBS. The Neighborhood of Make-Believe segment during the arc involved the neighborhood having suspicions of neighboring community Southwood constructing bombs and preparing for war, but in the end discovering it was part of a bridge-building project. Considering the war-based nature of the episodes, they were pulled from rotation in 1996 and never released on home media. Then in 2017, all 5 episodes were uploaded to torrent tracker MySpleen and eventually got uploaded to the Internet Archive for their VHS vault. In 2018, the arc was restored and is still available for viewing at the Internet Archive.
We all want peace. We all want peace. I wish you peace.
Newton's Apple was a science-based talk show series created by station KTCA of Twin Cities Public Television. Ira Flatow of PRI's Science Friday served as host from 1983 to 1988, followed by assistant director of the Oregon Museum of Science and Industry, David Heil, from 1989 to 1998. Other hosts included the likes of Peggy Knapp, future MTV reporter Soo Chin Pak, Dave Huddleston, Brian Hackney, and Eileen Galindo. The series filmed 195 episodes between 1983 and 1998, for a total of 15 seasons. The Twin Cities PBS website has clips of Newton's Apple available for viewing, and a small number of episodes can be found across different channels on YouTube, but at this present moment, the entire series is unavailable for full viewing, likely held in storage at the Twin Cities PBS archive.
Fascinating. Thank you very, very much, Dr. Frickle. I never realized how complex the immune system was before. I think we all feel a little better now, and we'll be back in just a minute.
On a side note, while originally writing this video for Newton's Apple, I contacted Twin Cities Public Television in order to find out the status of the old episodes of Newton's Apple. Very recently, I got a reply back, and it seems that they do have the episodes in the archive, but they do not have the rights or can even afford the rights to release the full episodes. So whatever there is on the Twin Cities Public Television website, that's the most we're going to get for now. Premiering on the same day as Shining Time Station, Long Ago and Far Away was a WGBH production presented by veteran stage and screen actor James Earl Jones. Each episode featured a select film production based around storytelling. 4 seasons aired between 1989 and 1992, but likely due to copyright restrictions, none of the episodes were ever released on home media. Currently, all of the episodes are stored in the WGBH archive, with limited viewing available to the public. Luckily, a number of episodes have made it onto YouTube. A list of episodes uploaded in their entirety include The Pied Piper of Hamelin, The Reluctant Dragon, The Talking Parcel, Svatahor, The Sleeping Princess, As Long as He Can Count the Cows, Rarg, The Boy in the Oak Tree, and Bill the Minder. Several of the other episodes are available for viewing, albeit without the James Earl Jones bookends. Will we get to see the series in its entirety? Well, it really all depends on what home video archives have to share with us.
As a great philosopher once said, without compromise, there is no dinner.
Sherry Lewis was a Jewish-American puppeteer who created the sock puppet character of Lamb Chop while appearing on Captain Kangaroo. From 1960 to 1963, Lewis and her characters of Lamb Chop, Hush Puppy, and Charlie Horse appeared on The Sherry Lewis Show. In 1980, she hosted the syndicated Sherry Show, but in 1992 she moved to PBS with Lamb Chop's Play-Along. Lamb Chop's Play-Along was devised as an audience participation anti-couch potato show, designed to entertain and challenge kids. When Lamb Chop wrapped up in 1995, a sequel series was created called The Charlie Horse Music Pizza, featuring the same characters and new additions like Take Out the Orangutan, Fingers the Raccoon, and Cookie the Dame DeLuise. However, in 1998, Sherry Lewis sadly passed away due to complications from uterine cancer, ending the series' run. Today, though, Sherry's daughter Mallory Tarcher continues performing Lamb Chop in live performances. According to the Lost Media Wiki, Lamb Chop's Play-Along has 2 missing episodes from its first season, namely The Bully and Hiccups. Season 2 is missing Lucky Puppy, Twinkle Twinkle, The Return of Zark, Fear of Biking, Senorita Lamb Chop, Forget It, Get Up and Dance, Musical Chopsticks, The Emperor's New Clothes, and Anchor Desk, while the episodes United We Stand, Chicken Pox, and The Guys are partially missing. The final 2 seasons are almost entirely lost, apart from segments of Horse of a Different Color, Tattletale, So Mad, Togetherness, What a Mess, Buster and Butch the Bully, Busted Up Buster, and Fighting Fair. As for Charlie Horse Music Pizza, only 13 of the 23 episodes exist in full, and only 1 exists partially. Musicians of Bremen, Follow the Leader, Charlie on the Run, Star Spangled Charlie, Jazzy, Hush Puppy the Hero, Can I Sing You My Song, One Man Band, and The George and Bill Show are currently lost, while Charlie's Ants exists only partially. Thankfully, the final episode of the series, Goodbye Hello, exists in its entirety, a fitting closing episode for Sherry Lewis's career in entertainment.
In this ever-changing world, people come and people go, and some will stay, and through the years your list of friends will grow and grow. As you move from day to day, you oftentimes will have to say hello.
Hello, goodbye.
Hello, goodbye.
Hello, goodbye.
Thank you for my little time with you.
The Puzzle Place was a puppet-based series created by KCET Los Angeles and Lancet Media, the latter known for its work on Reading Rainbow. The series' puppeteers were veterans of the Jim Henson Workshop, and the show featured a diverse cast of characters visiting the puzzle place and working together to solve problems. Julie, Kiki, Leon, Ben, Sky, and Jody, and the pets Sizzle and Nuzzle, not to mention a few celebrity cameos here and there. The series aired for 3 seasons from 1995 until 1998. With the demise of Lancet Media, the copyright ownership for the puzzle place remains somewhat cloudy, hence no home media releases of the show have been released since the series' cancellation. A few home recordings exist on YouTube, but half of the episodes are currently lost. 5 from Season 1, 9 from Season 2, and 7 from Season 3, with a further 14 episodes existing in only part. Like with Long Ago and Far Away, the only hope of seeing all further episodes of The Puzzle Place lies mostly on home recordings.
Enjoy your breakfast. Yeah. Hey, what happened to mine?
Before the Kratt brothers became household names through Zoboomafoo and Wild Kratts, Chris and Martin's start on PBS was through Kratts Creatures. Kratts Creatures aired on PBS stations during the summer of 1996, featuring the Kratt brothers traveling around the world discovering different animals and their habitats. The 50 episodes of the series remained in circulation until 2000, after which the series was dropped in favor of the Kratts' new series, Zoboomafoo. In 2009, 33 episodes of Kratts Creatures were uploaded to the PBS Kids Go website, and recordings of said episodes eventually made their way to YouTube and the Internet Archive. Sometime afterwards, Amazon made all 50 episodes available for purchase, and they can still be viewed on Amazon Prime if you're curious.
Let's go down and have a closer look.
Believe it or not, there were 2 different iterations of Zoom. One in 1972, the other in 1999.
Zoom was essentially a show by kids for kids under the jurisdiction of WGBH. The first iteration of Zoom lasted for 6 seasons from 1972 until 1978. The second iteration ran from 1999 until 2005 for a total of 7 seasons. A pilot for this second iteration was created in 1997, developed by the 1970 Zoom producer Kate Taylor. Audiences reportedly reacted positively to the revival pilot, and funding was soon provided by the National Science Foundation for the full series going ahead. In 2017, 2 clips of the pilot episode were uploaded to YouTube, courtesy of cast member Haley. In 2022, the pilot was uploaded in full.
On the word go, each player has to eat 3 of these crackers, and then try to whistle.
Nevertheless, a number of other Zoom episodes remain missing or missing in part. Although all of seasons 2 through 7 are available for viewing on YouTube, only 16 of the 39 episodes of season 1 are available for viewing. The remaining 23 episodes are most likely stashed away in the WGBH archive, unlikely to be released in future. If you're interested in viewing the found episodes, though, Zoom Fan 1 has uploaded by far the most complete collection of episodes, while Nathan NG has 2 further episodes from Season 1 available for viewing. Well, if you have any complaints about this, you know who to write to.
BOOM Box 350, Boston, Mass. 02134.
I've covered this pilot in an earlier episode of TIPB Tidbits, but consider this an addendum to that particular video.
The Pottleville case was a test pilot for the TV series Cyberchase, created by Curious Pictures and distributed to schools to gauge interest in the new series. When Cyberchase landed on PBS Kids, the Pottleville case was edited and re-scripted to fit in with the regular series, albeit the animation clashed quite a bit with the rest of the first season. Speculation of the state of the original pilot occurred for quite some time, with crumbs of information dropped here and there by former crew members. In 2019, WNET New York released a 3-minute promo for the pilot, shedding further light on what was. Then, in 2021, the pilot episode appeared in its entirety on the Internet Archive. My tidbit video on this pilot episode featured a comment by YouTube user The Ruff, who claimed to have been the one that found the pilot. His search led him to various Curious Pictures employees until being led to a college archive in Maryland. The archive digitized a VHS copy of the pilot and sent it ahead to The Ruff, who in turn uploaded it to the Internet Archive.
Sure, it was a tough case to crack, but a little math and some quick thinking paid off. I think I'll have cereal.
Love it or hate it, Sid the Science Kid served a purpose to teach children science literacy and problem-solving skills. But did you know it was almost an entirely different series altogether?
Before Sid the Science Kid's 2008 premiere, in 2007 a pilot was developed for the series by the Jim Henson Company. The working title for the series was What's the Big Idea? And instead of starring Sid, it starred a boy named Josh, more or less a palette swap of the Sid character we would get later on. Although character models and a logo exist, the pilot episode is still missing. In the meantime, I'll just keep this bit on replay.
Gotta be going now. Bye! Hey, look who's back! I never want to go back to that world again. I don't even want to think about it.
Oh, you won't have to.
No, just take a look right here.
Okay.
Founded in 2003 by Muppeteer David Rudman and his brother, writer Adam Rudman, Chicago-based Spiffy Pictures creates children's programming for various networks including Disney Channel, Nick Jr., Cartoon Network, and Noggin. Their first production for PBS was Nature Cat, originally pitched in 2009 with a series of pencil sketches. For proof of concept, a pilot was created and exhibited to an audience of preschoolers to gauge interest in the series going ahead. The test proved a hit, and PBS ordered 40 episodes. However, the test pilot itself is lost media. What few pieces of information we have about the pilot come from 2 storyboard images featuring Nature Cat, Hal, Daisy, and Squeaks, and some production art of Nature Cat rather similar to his current design. Odds are the pilot is stashed away in the archives at Spiffy Pictures.
You know, this kind of has the makings of a spectacular adventure movie special. I don't know.
It sure does!
What they say! Wink, wink.
Molly of Denali, somewhat of a landmark in PBS Kids programming, being the first PBS Kids series to feature an indigenous character in the lead role, as well as being performed by members of the Alaskan and Canadian Native communities.
An original pilot for the series involved Molly, her parents, and friend Tui getting lost in the wilderness after one of their sled dogs eats their map. Having memorized the map earlier, Molly is able to lead everybody safely back home. Clips of the pilot episode were uploaded to the Sponsored Group for Public Television website in 2018 for promotional purposes, only to be taken down once the show premiered in 2019. However, a few clips of the pilot made it into a behind-the-scenes video uploaded to the show's official YouTube channel. Apart from some promotional artwork, little else remains of the pilot episode, though the plot would later be reworked for the episode by Sled or Snowshoe.
Do batteries go with applesauce? Or do you keep them with the long underwear?
I gotta go. Dad needs help. See you next time.
So that's a look at a few items of PBS Kids' lost media. What can we take away from these examples? Well, for one thing, once your show gets out there, there's no guarantee of it being preserved and released for future viewers. Occasionally, the copyright holders will be able to release your work to a new audience. Other times, a dedicated group of fans will do everything in their power to uncover your lost work and release it to an audience willing to relive fond memories. Is there any other PBS Kids lost media that I may have missed? Feel free to comment below with any other pieces of PBS Kids lost media you feel should get uncovered. Now, the next case on this list is, of course, the PBS member station Spotlight. We've been going around the country with all of these member stations, so it's time to pick a new one out of the pretty straw hat. Let's see who we get. Well, you know, WTTW Chicago.
WTTW first signed onto the airwaves in 1955 as a new member station of National Educational Television in Chicago. The first years of operation saw the station broadcasting educational programming during daytime hours, Sunday through Friday. In 1970, the station joined the new public broadcasting service, and in 1972, added a limited Saturday schedule to its programming lineup. During the 1980s, WTTW began experimenting with stereophonic sound for TV broadcasts, eventually moving to entirely stereophonic sound broadcasts in 1984. In 1981, the station began publishing Chicago Magazine as a guide to local programming on the station, before selling the publishing rights in 1986. On November 22, 1987, WTTW was subject to a signal hijacking during a late-night Doctor Who broadcast. The hijacking involved 90 seconds of pirated video of a person in a Max Headroom mask performing lewd acts on video before cutting back to the regular broadcast. Investigations by the FCC could not locate the responsible party, and it is likely that their identity will remain a mystery. In 2009, WTTW moved to full digital broadcasting, but in 2010, it was announced that layoffs and salary freezes would be instituted in order to cut operating costs due to declining revenue and other economic issues. In 2014, though, WTTW was able to continue broadcasting thanks to a donation from the Renee Crown family. Amongst the station alumni are such names and faces as FCC Chairman Newton Minow and film critics Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert, both of whom hosted the series' sneak previews before moving to the syndicated WGN TV series At the Movies. Programming for WTTW includes local programs such as Check Please Chicago Tonight and Wild Chicago, along with nationally broadcast shows like The McLaughlin Group, Soundstage, Mexico One Plate at a Time, and the 10 That Changed America series. Not to mention the children's series Lamb Chop's Play Along, Kid Songs, Word World, and Nature Cat. Today, WTTW serves the whole of the Chicago metropolitan area, and via cable for the Rockport, Illinois market. If you're in the Chicago area, you can tune into WTTW on Channel 11, with WTTW Prime on the .2 channel, Create on the .3 channel, PBS Kids on the .4 channel, World on the .5 channel, and First Nations Experience on the .6 channel.
Thank you to everyone for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, feel free to like, subscribe, and share. Ring the bell. Follow on Twitter. Also, don't forget to support your local PBS stations. Some more programming related to these pieces of lost media may just find its way to your television screens. And until next time, I'm Captain Rutledge. Good day.